Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the Muscle of Yarncast. It's Super Bowl Sunday.
Oh, you're right. 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 You can tell how much attention I pay to that. I did actually know that vaguely in my head. It's my friend's birthday also, so.
Which means that it is February 11th, I believe. We are Yarncasting on Sunday because I have some stuff going on tomorrow and we didn't want to push it off another week. So here we are to get this out to you. The upside is it's daylight, so we will not be fighting with our sensor lights in here.
Oh, they're going to go off. But...
Oh, they will, but it won't.
I actually opened the blinds over there to bring some daylight in because they were closed when I came in.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So we are bringing you this Yarncast from our store, Muscle of Yarn, in Shelburne, Vermont, where we are going to show you a bunch of yarn and other things that are available for purchase in store.
All kinds of
online.
Stuff here on the table today.
All kinds of stuff today. Sadly, most of my projects, I don't know.
I'm sort of half and half.
Yeah.
Two out of three, actually.
I need to. Yeah. I want to make this one, and I'm probably going to pick up some yarn from here. So anyway, but you can find the store out on social media, Muscle of Yarn, World Wide Web, Instagram, Facebook, Ravelry, all the places is Muscle of Yarn. And I'm Angela.
I'm Jen. And
you can find me out on social media, Instagram, and Ravelry as Junior Bird Kid.
I'm not quite as consolidated as Ange is. There we go.
There it is.
I am, where am I? I am on Ravelry as J.R. Buckle and on Instagram as Jennifer _.
Really distracting, isn't it?
Quite all right.
Okay.
Jennifer _ Arbuckle.
We do need that one to come back on, though. It makes it kind of dark over here.
Maybe if we raise the late. What did we do last time?
I don't know. Can't figure out what it is.
It didn't want to come on. I think because the contrast is not extreme.
There.
It definitely is that round one.
It's that, yeah, because it just, yep.
I think if we set up a fan, you know how they set up a fan with streamers on it?
Found a sensor.
Or we need a scarecrow that when the wind blows, the things flap around.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
I introduced
your
Instagram social media
as I was
handles.
Distracting everybody with my.
They're on our show notes.
That's
I'm pretty sure you guys know where to find me.
You know where to find us. So I appreciate all of the comments on my latest post about my dog who's still in the doghouse over that yarn situation. I do find it funny, though. There was clearly a division because Instagram now automatically posts over to Facebook. And
I know, it's very confusing.
9 times out of 10, I just let it happen. The Instagram comments were definitely more of my yarn community, and everybody's oh no, poor Dusty, silly dog, lots of sympathy.
That yarn lover dog.
Right. Lots of sympathy for my situation over on Instagram. Over on Facebook, which is a different crowd of friends and group, there was a lot more love to the dog. And I was like, what is even happening here? She got into my stuff and tried to eat my yarn. Why are you saying poor dog? Different priorities, different platforms.
It is always interesting. I've always had my Instagram post to my Facebook automatically just because I can't be bothered to post on Facebook other than that way. And so it is always interesting because they are different groups. My high school friends will be like, ooh, that's really pretty.
Yeah.
I'm always like, oh, right.
I will sometimes...
These people are over here.
Toggle it off if it's a large number of knitting content because I'm well, maybe my Facebook people don't. They seem to enjoy it. So at this point, I'm just whatever.
Right. I figure here's the thing. There's so much crap.
I know.
On both platforms really now, and so many ads that people really are just interested in anything that is not an advertisement for
sponsored post
for Paxlovid.
Right? Or I don't know what's on my feed. Sometimes I'm just
I don't really know either because I skim right past it so fast that I don't even
it's all sponsored. I was where I've started clicking off and reporting some of those posts, and then it gets better for a while, and then they all come back, and so anyway, it's a bad one. I want to see what people that I'm connected to are up to. I know, these ads
and
are
you
making
would think,
me crazy.
Yeah, I get that it's a free service, and that's how they make their money, but
Right.
It's anyway that's another rabbit hole we probably shouldn't go to.
Yes. Yes. So
we feel strongly about it.
I have strong feels about it, particularly on Facebook. Instagram, at least, I feel like the advertisements I get are more like yarn type related, and like
I feel like they're the same.
No, Facebook is like
Instagram
this
has gotten really awful lately.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's so hard to find like real content.
No, I know.
It's just so...
I know. That is a super challenge. So, all right. So we like to start our Yarncast with some actual yarn content. Also, our pick.
Instead of just complaining about the world at large.
Our Yarncast pick. So this is where we're going to show you a yarn. And this is a brand new to us yarn. I think it's just released by Barocco.
I think it's new,
right? Brand new. I'm pretty sure across the board. So we are so excited that we have it. So our our Yarncast pick. Like,
you forgot.
I know, I did.
Habits die hard.
They do. Is Barocco Tilly. So this is a like DK weight yarn. It is a 62% Pima cotton and 38% Cupro. And the Cupro is, per Barocco, a silk-like byproduct of cotton. So it's bringing some of that sustainability component to the yarn. Again, I gotta say, this yarn is soft.
It's super soft.
If you handed me this yarn without a label and said, what is the content of this yarn? Cotton is not what I would pick.
Yeah. It doesn't have that stringy quality that cotton often
does.
It's a very interesting construction. It's very hard to
It looks
explain.
like it's a chain.
It is very, yeah. So
like
it looks a little, because it's so fine and you can see it, it looks like almost braided. And because no matter how you twist it, you see that.
Like a chain?
Yeah, no, it is. No. I just meant that you can see, like some of those chain nets, you have that fluffy stuff and you don't see the construction quite as much, or the net that holds all the stuff.
So these are 100-gram skeins. They're 375 yards. It is a DK, not a sport, though that yardage would tend to suggest that it's closer to a sport. But we have, I think, all the colors, with a lot of them.
Yeah. And look at them, they're just beautiful
They're
colors.
so gorgeous. There's a really nice shine to this yarn.
Yeah.
I think this would make a lovely like spring top tank or a tee. It does,
it'll be nice and drapey.
It does retail for $24 a skein. So it's not, inexpensive.
Pima cotton though.
But
it's high-end cotton. Yeah.
With a silky like feel to it. I mean, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
So I think we'll do the coupon code YP Tilly. TILLIE.
This red is beautiful.
Yeah, I know, right?
Honestly, these are all my colors except for that one you're holding up right now. But
it's kind of orange rust.
Someone else loves that color, which is good.
Right?
So, yeah.
So super fun. Lovely,
really
lots of different colors.
And that little bit of black that's in all of them is really nice. It sort of really sets the colors off beautifully.
We do also have the book, and there is actually, look, there's this cute little tee right there. Yeah. There's
a tank that's right there. Oops.
Yep. Yeah, there's some really kind of cool.
And the book retails for $12.
Yes. So, Barocco does such a great job with their pattern support. There's the little tank that Jen was pointing to on the back.
Sleeves.
Yep. There's like a cute little wrap.
That's nice.
That would be really cool for like summer. There's a better picture of it. It's really big. But with this, it's going to be super drapey and not that I'm super eyeballing.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Really cute.
It's in your color too.
That is in my color with the purple. I know, right? Some of the patterns are crochet. This wrap is crochet. So they have like a nice mix of different patterns in the book. But yeah, this yarn
it'll work for all kinds of things.
Be fabulous. So it's a great new addition to the store. Really excited about that. Maybe that'll be my next project because
it's time. It's 60 degrees. It's time to cast on something for summer.
For summer, right? Kind of feel that way. And it's gonna get really cold again. I'm gonna be like, why did I do that?
And you can finish your sweaters.
I know.
You probably already have.
I have not. I got distracted with hats.
Oh, okay.
Cannot stop knitting hats. So I think they're all gonna end up in the gift bag, and the ones that don't get stolen by my child.
Yeah.
So, so it is still hand knit season here.
Yep.
So Jen, what are you wearing today?
All year round is hand knit season.
Yeah, it is. Really.
This is Goldwing, I think it's. I forget what it's called.
That does look like
Goldfinger.
Goldwing.
I don't know what it's called.
It does look like Goldwing.
It's a Jen Steingas pattern, and I can never. Everything starts with gold. That's the problem with those. Somewhere in here. There it is. Goldwing. It is Goldwing. But I knit it at a sort of Aran weight instead of. I can't remember if it's for DK or worsted. I think it's worsted, actually.
Probably worsted.
So I knit it on a slightly bigger needle. And
is that yarn that you repurposed from a different project?
Yeah, the gray is. The darker, it's actually a navy blue. It looks really dark there, but it's wool stock.
Okay.
So it's wool stock, Midnight Sea. And then this is a farm yarn that I bought at Harlow's farm stand in southern Vermont.
Nice, as one does when they're doing
visiting their hometown.
Yarn tourism.
I was actually going in to buy apples, I think, maybe, but
you're like,
it was yarn.
Yarn. What am I supposed to do? I cannot walk away from this. I must look at it.
Yeah,
and possibly buy some.
So it is like yesterday. I had it on a little bit in the afternoon, and I was just outdoors because I didn't need to wear a coat. It's one of those nice sort of winter spring sweaters.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. I am wearing Pim. So this is an Amy
for a long time.
Christopher's pattern. I know it's been cold.
True.
I was really hot today after I got out of the shower. So also anticipating that it was going to be a little warmer today. Didn't want to wear a sweater. So this is made out of Barocco Zinnia. So the Zinnia is a cotton nylon blend. So, but it's got these little like nubs and stuff. It's
has it been discontinued? I can't quite remember. I know we don't have it here anymore. We had a little bit left for a while, but
which was kind of a bummer because it was
nice
a
yarn.
really
That's
nice
the only
yarn.
thing. Sometimes Barocco is really quick. Like they have these yarns that they have and then they're gone. Which I don't always love that about them. But
it's totally possible it's been discontinued.
I'm curious.
It's it's got the nice little like split hem detail. Like it's just a nice like in between weight with the 3/4 sweater.
It's not showing
V-neck.
that way.
So it's still in stock. Maybe we just don't have any anymore.
Yeah.
But super nice. Again, good pattern support. They had like a pattern booklet for patterns. There was a cute little tee that was made with this yarn that was striped.
Yeah.
In fact, I might try to get my hands on some because I still have leftovers of this.
It's a nice color.
It's a really nice color. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
So today, this was the one I was going to wear.
Yeah. Not quite ready for fake spring yet.
Oh, I know. I'm embracing fake spring right now. And I actually have hand knit socks on today.
I do too, which is very odd because I don't have a lot of those.
I don't. This is
not
the real setup for me to be able to like put my, like when we were on the couch, I would regularly lift my leg up in the air. But part of the reason that I have hand knit socks on today, well, other than I like them, but I busted out my boots.
Rain boots.
My clear boots with the one, probably can't see this, but your feet sweat a lot in rubber boots.
Yes. I know when you showed me that you were getting those, I was like, "Oh, no."
Yeah, no,
me.
they are real toasty in there, and they actually fog up. It's kind of funny because they're clear, like normal boots would fog up too, but you can't see it.
Right.
But it's a great way to show off your fun socks.
Yeah, you just don't want to wear them all day. Probably.
No, oh no, no. But for like,
just to go out and dance around the rain.
out like this, or they're just little half willies. They're Uggs. It was a thing. I saw them on Instagram. People were buying them, and when I went out to look, they were on sale, and I was like, of course, it's a sign. So now I'm buying them.
Right. Yes.
So there we are. There we are.
That's good.
All right. So you have, do you have finished objects?
I have 1/12 of a finished object.
Oh, yeah, show it. Show it.
So January is complete, and therefore so is my January square
Whoop, whoop.
for my blanket. So something funny happened, and I'll share it with you guys, but you don't have to share it with the world because no one will ever know. So I got down here and I did my last day, and I realized I had an uneven number of stitches, like more on one side than the other, which was weird. I don't really understand how that happened, because then I went back and I looked, and all along the, the crease, and I don't see where I missed one of the, you know what I mean? It's very straight and consistent. So either I was wrong from the very beginning, possible. It was only off by like 2.
Totally possible.
Or I did miss one of the decreases along the way somewhere, and it just doesn't show, which is fine. So I had to do a little decreasing along the edge, and when I bind it all together, you'll never see it.
Right.
But
anyway,
so there's it's a whip and an FO. So there's the FO.
Right.
And while we're here, we'll just do
so far for February.
Yes.
Nope, we see some new colors in there.
One new color.
Green.
That's when it got warm last week, into the 40s. And I was hoping for one yellow stripe yesterday, but it's not going to happen. So
did not warm up that much.
It was 2 degrees away from being a yellow stripe. So I'm going to be good and follow the rules. So, but I suspect it will go back to a lot of blue in February.
Yeah, it's going to get cold again.
Yeah, but not cold enough for purple.
No.
I guess.
No.
I feel like there's going to be a lot of blue and green in this blanket in general across the whole year. But anyway, so it's getting there.
Awesome.
I've been pretty good. I'm a day behind right now, but pretty good about doing it most days. It's kind of a relaxing way to get the knitting started in the evening, because it's just garter stitch.
Nice. Nice. So
You have like 16 hats.
I did. I went on a hat. I can't even. So it started with wanting to do alpine bloom. So I did. I succumbed and did.
That's pretty.
Alpine bloom. Thank you. I've not blocked it yet. So there's a good view.
So at least you have something that will be complete by the time you knit along.
It's applies for the knit along.
What yarn is it?
So this is again my fall down the rabbit hole Lion Brand stuff.
All right, we got to talk to Ariana.
Okay, so look, this was the emergency project. So 2 weeks ago when I had to go.
I was right, just for the record.
Yeah.
For those that watched the thing, Ange posted it, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I know what pattern that is. But she was like, right here.
Yeah. So I ended up having to go to a 2-hour conference in person that I was not expecting. And I was like, I am not sitting there for 2 hours without some knitting. Yeah. And so I went and got some emergency supplies at Joann's because it was open.
And you weren't near your own yarn store.
I actually did not have time to come all the way down here. Kidding. I was coming from St. Albans.
Oh, yeah, right.
And the where the conference was over on Wilson Road. So I did not have time to go here to get supplies, not down to my own yarn store. Don't think that didn't cross my mind. But I was like, really?
I could order it and then I could go pick it up. But yes, right.
Nobody was here.
It's an extra 20 minutes. Yeah. Oh, right.
Nobody was
here.
Yeah. So anyway, so this is the gray is Lion Brand Woolies, which is just I think it's like an acrylic wool blend.
Yeah.
Similar to like vintage. Like it's, it's not bad. I would have bought vintage or wool.
Ultra
wool if I was here at the store. But this color one is one of their mandalas, and it's a mandala ombre, which is this really beautiful rainbow color, which is just gorgeous. And I know, right? No,
I'm curious to see the next
more hats out of
hat, because I'm pretty sure the next hat starts here.
Yeah, it does. It does. I just was like, look, I have all this yarn left. I gotta just
I gotta make another hat.
Gotta make another hat. What can I make out of it?
Yeah.
This color one, this mandala, it's 100% acrylic. It feels like wool. Like it does not. Here, I will pull it out so you can feel, because I got a third hat started. So this is. No, I know, right? It does not feel like acrylic.
Yeah, it feels like a cotton blend. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nice feel to it.
It's really nice. All right, so we have...
It's not like, it doesn't have that sort of shiny, plasticky feel that acrylic does sometimes.
We have Alpine Bloom. And then I was like, oh, well, what else can I knit? So I found, this is Heart to Heart. This is the same designer that did the knit stitch one, looking one. What was that one called? Naomi
that cowl that you made
Zimmer.
For the teacher?
No, the hat, Abigail's hat. The purple one with the knit stitch thing. So this is another one of hers. It's called Heart to Heart. Meant for, I think, worsted. I think one of these is a DK and one of these is a worsted, and I'm using them interchangeably because that's how I roll. So again, just a cute, I did the double fold over brim. And then I still had yarn left because this ombre one is like 150 yard skein.
Yeah, it goes on.
Or not 150 gram skein.
Oh, right.
150 grams. Yeah. So it's like 300 and some yards.
So it's 3 hats, really.
Yeah.
So, even when you're using that much of it, because in both of those hats you've shown so far, it's like half and half.
Right. So this is the gray, again, that's in that other hat, which is...
Actually, there's more color in that one than there is gray. Yeah, where the other one was.
And so that's not like a third one, because I was into the reds and the pinks, and I was like, oh. And so I busted out the white. This is the white. This actually glows in the dark.
Did you try it?
Yeah.
You were talking about it last time, and I wasn't sure if it really worked.
Because my child came home one day and was like, this hat glows in the dark. And I was like, yeah, I know.
You're welcome.
So it does actually glow in the dark. So this is the Lion Brand glow in the dark stuff that's, again, left over. And so then I'm knitting the same one, just I'm in the pinks and reds, and I might
It's interesting how much more the hearts show up on that one.
Right, because it's a bigger contrast. I wound off the blue, so I figure if I run out, it'll be blue at the top.
That would be fun.
Yeah. So I'm on my third hat out of these skeins of yarn, which is amazing. It's fun to work with. It's a fun pattern. I know some of you said after the last Yarncast where I was showing the knit beanie, you went out, she happened to be having a sale, and you were like, I bought like 4 more patterns. I was like, I know, right? Like, she has some great little just cute color work kind of stuff. So yeah, it's like hat central over here.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Really? Seriously. There we go. That one came back on.
I'd like to know, like, if I could just put my arm in the right, I think it's a movement. I think it's the movement, not the location.
Well, that it senses. Yeah. So anyway, so hat central over here. Could I have finished my toe on my polar arc, which was all I had left? No, I have not done that yet, but I have knit like 2.5 hats.
Right, and this is, right, speaking of which, this was my project that I brought with me because it was portable. And I have put a little bit more on there. I think I was on the red last time, so I've done like an inch or two, an inch and a half maybe. So they're getting there, and you can start to see the change on the... But I thought I would have more time to work on them when I brought them with me, and I did not. But they're coming along.
Yes, polar arc. Jen's doing the toe up. I'm doing the top down.
I guess technically if you put these together, it would be almost like maybe, oh my God, seriously, sorry.
What? It just came back on. What is its malfunction?
Bill, the other one is off. I don't know. Look, the colors are fine. You can see.
This, you can't. But you guys have seen this already.
If we wave our arms around some more, I'm sure it will come back on again.
Sensor lights. Seriously. I mean, maybe they're clicking off faster because it's light out.
Yeah, that's what I think. I guess we should have put up the spotlights.
We should have. I thought it was going to be better than it is.
Right.
So, what are you going to do?
I need like a...
It's not our normal stuff. I think we're pushed back further than we normally are. I don't know. There we go.
I don't know because there's not much room there. All right, we'll see. Let's time this one. Maybe it'll only be 15 seconds that it stays on instead of 30.
If it is, it's related to how much daylight's coming in through the windows, I think. So, all right. So works in progress.
Well, actually, finished objects, we probably should talk about that while it's
Oh, well, we should have talked about it with what
Right.
the mannequin's wearing.
Right.
Back in What Are We Wearing?
Right.
So
Right. Let's do that.
we revived the mannequin situation.
Because we
here.
had a sample to put on it.
Because there is a new sample.
We actually have 2 other samples too.
Yes, yes.
I'm thinking of it.
So let's see. Mannequin 1. Mannequin
Only
is wearing tessellated.
Mm-hmm. In Patagonia, Stark edition, Schopel Stark, I think. We're not 100% sure about this, but we're pretty sure. And then Ariel held together. And so you can see it's really interesting.
It's very subtle.
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
see the shifts of the color of the Schopel. And the red really is dominant in that sweater.
Yeah, Ariana posted about it the other day, so there's some closer up pictures on, right, who knows. The lights just came on in the other half of the store where there's nobody for miles. So it's nice to see a different version of that. So, but if you want a close-up image, we did just post about it. The store posted about it. So I think it's always interesting just to see the different colors and see how they all play together.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. So, all right. So into works in progress.
I'm going to do these last little samples while we're because we talked about this a few weeks ago, Wool Addicts Artsy, and we have a little sweater sample just to show you how the yarn knits up. And so I just wanted to show that as well because I think it helps to understand the stripes. So this is tiny, so you can see how wide the stripes are, but if it was a bigger garment, they would be narrower. But yeah. I'm on a roll.
Yep, keep going. Keep going.
We also showed you guys this yarn a while ago. It was one of our special picks, Ms. Me, by Marisol. And we have a sample of pressed flowers knit using that. And so it's just interesting, again, to see how the colors play out. This is a great, and it's so soft.
Right. This is the 100% alpaca yarn, so it wouldn't be good for the sweater version of pressed flowers, but the cowl, the hat, any
gorgeous.
sort of the accessories, and we do also have this Juniper Moon Harriet, which again is 100% alpaca, so those were paired together to make the pressed flowers. So it's super soft, super cozy, really nice,
and warm.
Really warm. We've got a number of the Harriet colors in stock that go well with the Miss Me that we have. As you can, make some really cool combinations there with those.
So it was fun to have samples to show.
Yeah.
We have a whole bunch that just got finished recently, so it's nice to see them all.
Yes.
That's it. I'm done. Sorry.
Okay. So works in progress.
Well,
we saw your polar arcs.
Yes, I only have one left.
And you saw my heart-to-heart hat here.
Right. And the temperature blanket you saw.
And so I think all that's left are our Caitlin Hunter alongs.
I'm not sure how much got done. I did do some. Oh, actually, that's not true. Come to think of it, I think I was just, no, I think I only put like an inch on it. Not much has changed.
Making some progress here. It's like...
Yeah.
I'm in stuck in it for miles land.
Yeah, and I'm in fish, in the middle of the fish.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I only did like an inch because I think I was at the bottom of the tail last time. So this is not portable, so it does not get to come with me on trips. And because of the Kono yarn, it makes it difficult.
Yes.
So I, even when it gets down to the stockinette section, it'll still not be portable. But, and I have to say that as much as I am enjoying all of these, I started jonesing for some other stuff, and I was like, no, not happening. You have to finish these things.
Clearly, I have multiple hats happening over here, so I've just given in to I want to make something else and get done with it right away.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's hard not to want to pick something up.
Right. I did wind the yarn for just plain socks. Have I cast them on? No, but I'm kind of calling it a win because the yarn is caked and ready to go. I just need to cast on.
It's a Woolens and Nosh.
Woolens and Nosh. It's one of the club colorways, which I have a whole bunch of and have used very little of. So I figure I better just get a move on here.
Yeah. And then it will be in your bag when you're traveling to a certain conference.
I think right, that's the problem. Like, well, I also didn't bring any knitting with me because I wasn't that day where I had, it was unexpected. And so I should just have something in the car all the time. But I've kind of gotten away from that. And so that'll teach me, this will be a good just like travel project. They're going to be plain vanilla socks. I can work on them whenever, pick them up, put them down.
Yeah, and you have a little trip coming up, so that'll...
I do. That's probably what's going to go with me. So...
Yeah, easy peasy.
Yep, totally. Yeah. That's like all I've got going on.
I know. Here. We have lots of other stuff to maybe touch base on, but I think that might be the yarn-related content.
Yeah,
probably.
I still...
And for those that were wondering, sorry, I forgot to say, this is also Woolens and Nosh, my socks. Pretty Felt Garland is the colorway. And I don't know. We did have some over there. I don't know if we do anymore. We might have sold that one. I don't see it from here, but yeah. Anyway. So the knit-alongs are still trucking along, right? Are
they
extending any dates?
Well, I mean, we... extended Polar
It would only be for me
to the end of February, and the Caitlin Hunter along runs to the end of March. Okay, so there's still time to join and have fun. Do a hat, like it doesn't have to be a sweater.
Right.
People are doing all different kinds of things. Lots of hats, being posted already. People done with polar arcs too. Like folks seem to enjoy the pattern a lot. It's just such a different construction.
Yeah. It does require a tiny bit of attention. You can't. It's not quite as. It's not hard unless you decide to do them two at a time, toe up. In which case you have to count stitches a little bit more. And I ran into this was an interesting thing. So for those of you that might be considering it, I forgot about this part. So. Because the sock, when you're doing two at a time toe up, is divided in half, on some of all of the rows, the middle is in the middle of the front, or the beginning of the row is in the middle of the front, which is helpful in some respects as you start to work on the pattern, but you get to a few points where the decreases and increases that are making the shape come around to the front, and that is tricky because you're knitting all the way across the fronts and then all the way across the backs. So I had a few times where I had an extra stitch hanging on a stitch marker so that when I turned the work and came back to it, I could put it, because I had to like knit two together and one of them was on the back and one was on the front. Normally not a problem if you're just doing one sock because you can just slide it around the cord. But anyway, so that was my workaround for dealing with that because that was a little tricky. But I still think it's easier to leave the beginning of the round in the middle of the front rather than moving all your stitches around, which would have been another option, because then you really would have been having to count rows differently. It's hard to describe unless you're in there, but for those of you that are, it's possible, but just be aware there's going to be a few quirky moments here and there, but it's working out fine.
Awesome.
So
awesome.
Yeah.
So I think as we were sitting here chatting, and I was like, we should add another along. So I'm going to do what I'm calling the cotton top along. So this time, instead of it being like a spring top or this, you have to use cotton. So a yarn with some level of cotton doesn't have to be 100% cotton. It could be 5% cotton.
Could be a cotton blend yarn.
It could be a cotton blend.
Like Remix, for example.
Yep, Remix would work. It's got cotton in it. So the yarn has to have cotton, but you can knit whatever top you want. You could do something like this that's a longer sleeve. You could do a short sleeve. You could do a tank top. So it really, you can knit it to whatever where you are, your climate is, or what you want. The only rule is that it has to be a top, some sort. So however you define that. And there has to be some level of cotton content in the yarn.
And it could be like, I did that Garden Gate sweater as a short-sleeved top. So,
totally.
Although it's, geared towards wool, there's no reason you couldn't knit it out of cotton. I did it out of a cotton wool blend. So I think there's all kinds. So be creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And so knock yourself out. Have fun.
I'm going to be finishing all the other alongs.
Yeah. I am.
So is that now till like April-ish?
Yeah.
So you have a new top for spring?
Yeah, let's run it now to tax day, April 15th.
I was going to say till the end of April because that includes school vacation.
End of April. You got it. So now.
A new top for May Day.
To end of April.
It gives people a little vacation netting time.
Yes, for wherever you are and whatever type of vacation you have between now and then.
Right. Or maybe two vacation knits.
Right. So yes, between now and the end of April 2024, come knit a cotton top with us, cotton top along. Maybe I'll think of something more creative to call it, and we'll post that in the group. But that's where we're at right now. So
that sounds fun.
I feel like there's some Tilly in my future. Just looking.
It's hard to decide which color. I mean, all the colors are. So maybe a color work.
Purple. Gonna use purple. I'm gonna make that top the little cute cap sleeve one.
Oh, are you?
I think so.
Yeah.
Out of the purple. I'm gonna be that person.
Blue.
I'm gonna knit it, the pattern with the yarn and the color that the pattern calls for.
Oh, always fun when that happens.
So what I should actually do is pull out that 3 Seasons cardigan. That I have all the yarn for. That's the yarn that I lost temporarily and then found it again.
The beautiful, that yarn.
Yes, that has cotton in it.
Yeah, that's a really pretty yarn. I can't remember the name of it right this moment.
Yes. Do we still have some of that yarn?
Oh, yeah, we have quite a bit.
Okay, so Jen's going to go grab that yarn because 3 Seasons cardigan, this is also a great option for cotton yarn. As the name suggests, a little cardigan you can wear for 3 seasons. Partially
I all the colors. I just grabbed a few.
Partially because of the cotton content and that it's a lightweight. Oh, so it's Concept, the cotton merino tweed, or just regular cotton merino.
It just has that color. I love the way the color shifts.
This yarn would qualify for the along because it's got cotton in it. So this is another option.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be a summer top.
No, 3 Seasons cardigan is totally...
Or just a little pullover that you could wear 3 seasons here in Vermont.
Yeah.
So this one's beautiful. I just love the way the color shifts on the...
Yeah. Super fun. So,
really nice yarn.
Another thought for something... I don't even know what happened there. That's interesting.
They're allowed 3.
It's not even. No,
probably
it's like
will pull out, right?
No, it's the yarn is like wrapped around on itself.
Oh. Got tangled up in the skein process.
Oh my god. Okay, well, maybe I shouldn't pull that out then because
just tuck it in.
So come join us.
Yeah.
Maybe if I get. Clearly all the stuff's gonna get set aside. 3 Seasons cardigan. I already have the yarn for that, but I really want to knit with this Tilly. So maybe I'll do both. Do you think I could finish both by the end of April?
Absolutely. I could not. I'll be lucky if I finish all of this by then. And also I still, some of my whips are still calling to me. I was thinking about them this morning actually, and there's a couple that I would like to, if I did manage to get these other things done, I would probably work on those a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just making notes. I'll link to the stuff that we've been just kind of yammering about here at the end. The 3 Seasons cardigan pattern and then this yarn in the shop. So if you guys are interested.
Yeah. We definitely have, we have a lot here. So
awesome. Yeah, you can tell we're starting to get into the spring yarns and summer yarns a lot. We have a lot more cotton blends.
Yes. In fact, we actually, along with the Tilly that came in, I noticed that our LRA cotton, organic cotton, has been completely restocked. We have a lot of colors and lots of quantities. So there's a ton of it over there. So
come make plans. Come check it out. Come join the cotton top along. It'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Should probably finish this other sweater first, but that's never stopped me before.
That's a good 3-season sweater too.
It is because it's fingering weight. So, yeah. But now I've been distracted by Ooh Shiny, which happens regularly.
Yes,
so,
it does.
Which is why I have 11,000 project bags. In fact, that Aveeno still has not had the ends woven in on it, so it's still sitting in a project bag, just hanging out. I know.
Yeah, let's just tie them off inside. You can still wear it. You don't have to weave. You don't have to actually weave them in.
Well, yeah, the ones on the sleeves you do because
they'll pull through.
Well, no, it's weird. Anyway, till you close up that little hole where the bind off is.
Yeah.
So I should do that. That's another good 3-season because it's thick, but like on a day like today, it would be perfect. You wear it with a long sleeve T-shirt, and it would be just fine.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Anyway, fun times.
What else?
Retreat. The slots are still open, though. By the time this airs, we may have closed stuff down because we're getting really close to.
I think next weekend is probably the edge, right?
Yeah.
So you might have a couple days when this airs.
Yep. So I think by Sunday, next Sunday, which is the 18th, we will have to have closed down registration. Mostly because we need to get people signed up for whatever classes they're going to take, and
so there'll be another little push this week probably on social media just to remind people and let them know.
Don't wait;
happening.
It's going to be fun. We've got stuff in the works now for the fun part of it,
we do.
Like the little goodies and like finalizing all of the fun details, like yarn tastings and other stuff. So it's going to be awesome.
Right. So it's a little tricky because we have stuff happening that we're not going to talk about.
Right.
You'll only find out if you come join us.
Come to the retreat.
And then afterwards, maybe you'll hear a little bit about it. But
so much fun.
I'm looking
forward to it.
Yeah, it'll be good.
But that's the big one.
Yeah, that's coming up. It's like a month and a half away.
I know, right? I did look at the calendar the other day and had a moment where I was like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Got to focus on this now.
Yeah.
Stuff's coming up.
Yeah.
So that'll be super fun. We're really excited. We do have classes that are happening throughout the spring as well here at the store. Also a good way to come in. And in case you're local and you didn't know, like we will do like private classes. So if you have like a group of folks, I've had a couple people approach me, say like, oh, we have this group and we want to come learn to knit. And I'm like, great, we can do a private class for that for your group. So that's totally doable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Occasionally we have like, a mom and her daughter or her son or whoever, a couple people. Like it's not enough to fill a regular class, but even if it's just 2 or 3 people, we're happy to do a private appointment.
like a private lesson, but we could do a class for a group. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
So just reach out, let us know. Happy to work with folks on that. So.
Right. Yeah.
Fun times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was something else I just thought of, but of course I never write anything down.
Out.
I know. Straight through, I think, is actually what's happening.
There it goes.
Yes. I don't know.
Who knows?
Yeah.
All right. Well.
Quick. Maybe a quick one today.
That's fine.
Yeah. We covered a lot of ground, though. This table is covered with stuff.
Did. So thanks for coming and hanging out with us for the little hour plus today. And we're so happy for all of you that are participating in the alongs and interacting with us on various social media platforms. Super fun. Enjoy the comments. Try to respond to them as I can on the YouTube platform.
I looked after we podcast the last time I went and looked at them all. So. So occasionally there's a late to the party comment that I add.
Totally. We hope we provided some inspiration for all of you today, because that's partly why we do this, to get inspired ourselves, sometimes from comments or new things in the store, but also to maybe introduce you to something that you wouldn't normally have seen, and sort of get that little inspiration, excitement to make something new, pass something on.
That's right.
So that's what we're here for.
Right.
I've also started a couple of sewing projects, which I can't actually talk about yet. I will be able to at some point, but so that's going to be sucking down some of my time here.
Look at her knitting time will now become somehow
normal,
equal to mine. I might actually knit more than her between now and next time. You never know. It's possible.
It's totally possible.
I think it's unlikely, but it's possible. You're just my role model for knitting.
I try.
Yeah.
But yeah, this sewing project.
Yeah. Well, because you have a deadline, so you gotta.
I do have a deadline.
Finish it, and then it will just be done.
That's right. I have a plan, which I will not stick with.
Yes. I think all of us are that way. Like, if you make a plan and you're like, I'm going to spend an hour a day doing X, Y, and Z, so that over the course of a week, and in my case, what that often becomes is I'm going to spend 10 hours on Saturday.
Right. Yes.
Catching up on what I did not do during the week when I said I was going to, and real life intervened. Because that's the issue, is that life intervenes.
Right.
And you never want to say no to life. So.
I'm currently staging said sewing project. So I have a considerable amount of stuff cut out.
Yeah.
And so my plan is to get at least half of them that I'm making totally cut out, and then start the sewing chain, because doing the same thing repetitive. So you don't do one start to finish if you're making a batch group. Or at least what works for me is
that's funny.
Is I do
did
them
the same
in
thing.
series. So if I need to sew the seam for this thing, I will do all of the seams for the ones I have cut out, and then I will go to the next step and do that whole set. It works better. It feels like it takes longer, but I think it's actually more productive.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that was a whole lot of just
jibber jabber
about
mysterious
sewing project that I'm working on. So anyway, fun times. Fun times.
Yes.
All right. So thanks for hanging out with us.
I think that's it.
We'll see everybody probably in a couple of weeks. I think our schedules are clear, at least as of right now.
Yes.
But stuff changes.
It does.
In a minute.
Yeah.
So we'll try our best to be back in 2 weeks. If not, it might be 3, but we'll see everybody soon. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. See ya.
Bye. Oh, geez.
Is it on?
Yes, it is.
Up close and personal today.
Hello. Yeah, right there. We are
camera adjustment central here.
Oh, probably should have grabbed a pen.
Oh.
Because I probably am going to have
I might have one in one of these bags.
write some things. I do have one in my bag that's over there.
What I'm concerned about is that I don't have a snack for later. I thought there was one in the box. I thought about it and I didn't.
Happy to go run and grab
fine.
something for you.
I'll survive. You know what? I don't.
I do. I got to just get up.
I'm surprised because, this pattern doesn't go anywhere without a pen.
Right?
I must have taken it out when I got home and was working on it.
That's so. William and I went grocery shopping yesterday, and partway, I was feeling in my coat, and I was like, "Where'd all the pen?" Because usually I have a pen or two in my coat pocket, but I've been changing coats so much recently that the pens didn't get
or not wearing one.
Right. So the pens didn't get transferred over to the coat that I was wearing, and with the grocery list, it's really hard to not have a pen.
Yeah.
So you can't So you're not
I know. You keep your grocery list right here.
No. I still need paper. I have more than one person in my house, and so we have the magnetic, and so when we run out of something, that's where people put it.
Yeah.
Or
I understand.
So but so the joke was, I was like, how come I don't have any pens? And then I was looking in the front of the car, and I was like, why are there no pens? And I looked at William, and I was like, we should check the back seat. Abigail's a pen hoarder.
Oh, yeah.
And in her booster seat, there's usually no fewer than 5 or 6 pens. So there was one in the back seat. And actually, this is one of the ones from the back seat. And I just kept it because it's my pen anyway.
Right. I was just going to say.
So,
because you probably
stinker.
should keep it.
Stinker.
Yeah.
All right. So which of these are we going to use? And then I should probably, for our thing, and then I should look up how much it costs.
This one.
This one?
I think so.
Okay, cool. So
Don't you think?
Yeah. I'm gotta go look up a couple things here. Because we started the camera before we were completely ready. Which sounds about right?
Yeah.
Sounds about right. So what have you been up to the last couple of weeks?
Oh golly.
Right?
Yeah. Not a lot of knitting, I'll say that for sure. As you will see shortly, or will have seen already. Let's see. This past week, I went to work on Monday and got an email from a client. They're like, "We do think you should come down tonight for the meeting in White Plains for the city council meeting." I was like, "Really?" Like on Friday, we'd had a brief conversation. I knew I didn't need to be there, but they weren't sure, and the attorney didn't get back to them. Sorry.
Oh my god.
No. Slur on an attorney. Because
it's a thing.
So I go home, I pack a bag, I feed the cat.
I've been that attorney, so
yes,
you know.
I drive 5 hours down there.
Oh my god. For something that really
I get there and the attorneys looked at me and they're like, "What are you doing here?" And I was like, "My client asked me to come." Well, they didn't, but the client did. So anyway, which was fine, except for I needed to be back to get on a plane at noontime to fly to Cleveland. So, of course, I got up early, I went partway back to Kingston, my favorite halfway, almost not quite halfway moment. It's like a third, really, but it's better than, yeah. And, of course, we were in front of the city council. We didn't even have to stand up. It was a consent agenda, so it was even, and we were on it, so it was really annoying. But
are those one of those days where you're like, wow, I wish I would have arranged to fly out of New York City for my trip to Cleveland, because you probably flew from Burlington to New York
No,
to Cleveland.
We flew through D.C., actually.
Okay.
Yes, no, there aren't a lot of flights to New York anymore. So.
Right. Oh, I know.
So anyway, it was fine in the end, but it was 12 hours of my week that I was not expecting to be taken away. And then I went to Cleveland, got back really late on Wednesday night. So I did bring knitting with me, but I didn't really. The plane, it was like one of those planes where you could barely hold something to read, let alone try to have any elbow room. So.
Oh my god.
Yeah, not a lot of knitting. And then the week before, I don't really remember what happened the week before.
So
I don't know what that week was.
This past week, mine was not a 12-hour trip to White Plains, but it was similar. I had a day where I had just a couple of things on the calendar, and so I was like, great, I'm going to be able to get stuff done. Was wrapping up with my first thing of the day when our office cleaner lady called and said, I hate to tell you this, but my car got broken into last night. Oh. And some of the things that got stolen out of my car are the bucket of keys for all of my cleaning clients, along with my client list. Mm-hmm. Those two things were together. Mm-hmm. So I then had to spend some of that time that I thought I was going to actually get some actual work done, replacing the locks at my office, which we have a very funky door. It's an old door. It's got a very old style lock set on it. And frankly, it's just easier to do it myself than call a locksmith. So I ended up just dealing with that because anyway. So,
business owners, the fun things you get to do as a business owner.
Right. But also part of me was like, why did you have those two things together? And I understand you don't want to carry around the bucket of keys, but take the list with you. It's like the key to the bucket of keys. Don't keep those two things together.
Right. I mean, I guess for her, it's fine.
But also, that's awful. And now she, that was her list. Luckily, we've been a client a really long time, so she remembered that we were one of her people. But, there's something to be said for getting things digitized. I have so much stuff on this phone. If this gets stolen, but it's all backed up to the cloud and it's encrypted and you can't get in without the password and I can wipe it from remote. Yeah. So
I know. It's as much as I complain about AI, there's some benefits to it. And I don't really complain about it. I just find it to be slightly concerning here and there. In my industry, it's a little concerning.
Oh, well, I think in lots of our industries.
Ownership of drawings is tricky.
I mean, in my field, there was somebody who submitted a motion to the court from that they had AI, not here in Vermont, but somewhere else. And the AI just made stuff up. Like there were cases like that didn't exist, like legal citations that
Here's
didn't
an example
exist.
of what a legal case could be.
Right. No, it totally made up stuff. And that's a big deal.
It's a good test of.
It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's no replacement for this and doing the work.
Right. There's, using it as an aid. There's using it as a whatever. But
there's ways
at the end of the day,
you can use it to help streamline processes or to help you do things, but it's not a replacement for critical thinking, which is what I do in my profession, which she does in her profession.
Yeah.
There's that layer of.
It's an interesting,
Just anyway.
We could talk about that. I've been to several seminars recently, and we talked about it all day for hours. So, so let's not drag you all down into that bit of excitement. I'm trying to remember what happened the week before.
Oh, I know. I've been
or even last
doing
weekend.
Lots of sports stuff. There's been lots of kid stuff going on. Lots of really nasty things like viruses and other things circulating around the school. So we've been trying to not get those. I feel like lots of basketball and just like other. So basketball's almost over. Today is Sunday. We're doing Yarncasting on Sunday.
Right. Bright and cheerful morning.
The last basketball game for me is tomorrow, Monday, when we normally would podcast or Yarncast, and my child's playing, so I'd like to go to the game. So here we are on Sunday, instead of skipping.
You're welcome.
Yes, you're welcome. Don't think that didn't cross my brain. Well, let's just push it out one more week, though. I'm not entirely sure.
I think that gets into school vacation week, and then it just gets messy from there. But
I mean, I could have.
It's odd, February. I mean, it's short, being 2 days short month, but it's, I think the only thing that happened the week before is that I finally went to the doctor to see about my cough.
And,
yes, and she gave me all kinds. She's a naturopath, and so I think she gave me stuff that helped me. It's pretty exciting.
Good.
So.
Oh, good.
And it wasn't antibiotics because really it's just a chronic bronchitis. I guess the good news was that she told me it wasn't something like life-threatening like lung cancer or some hideous, scary thing like that, which I wasn't really worried about, but when you've been coughing for 5 months, you begin to wonder a little bit.
There's so many weird things going around right now.
Yeah, and she thinks it's just some sort of bronchitis that just keeps getting aggravated. And then when I had COVID on top of it, that
and like the temperature flux. I mean, I saw pollen just came out like on the way here. Like it could not stop sneezing. Like the itchy like springtime eyes. It's been like 50 degrees the last 2 days.
Almost 60.
Almost 60. Ridiculous.
I almost got to go to one more color. We'll talk about the temperature. We will
have a real interesting square.
There was almost a yellow stripe.
Wow, that's true.
There's not, but it was so close. I almost pushed it. It's like maybe if I just go hold the thermometer in the sun for 2 more minutes.
I think the only good news to this for those of us that enjoy doing things out on the ice, that there's ice and then it's been really warm. So what happens is the top layer of ice starts to melt and creates water, and then it's going to get really cold again. And so that top layer of water is going to freeze, which is going to make really nice like skating ice.
Flat. It won't be
flat,
bumpy.
Smooth, so that's like
it is supposed to get colder again this week. So our January thaw was definitely in February, and I had a friend of mine who lives in Pennsylvania. They come to Vermont usually in February a little bit sometimes. They haven't been for a couple of years, and she's not one to give me much notice. So on Friday she texted me. She's like, "Hey, I'm going to be in Stowe. Do you want to have lunch tomorrow?" So I drove up there yesterday, it was nice. It was a nice day. I thought, well, maybe I'll go for a little walk because the sun is out, and of course, that rainstorm that came through. It was sunny in the morning, and then it rained in the afternoon.
Oh, we did not get that.
It rained up there. Yeah. So anyway, but the weather was. It's funny. It's been so cloudy, and then last week was very sunny. The whole week was pretty much sunny, and it's just like you could just feel people's moods lift up. It was. It's there's a connection. It's definitely there. The crankiness that has been present for the last 6 weeks is really, and even today where it's kind of cloudy, but there's like some sunshine.
Still some residual Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Happiness. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. It's good. So, yeah, it's been kind of quiet.
Yeah.
Gearing up for the next couple weeks.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's break for us next week.
The joy of not having children is that you don't have these built-in breaks.
Week after President's Day week is our break. Everybody else is the week after that. Because we have to be special. So it's fine.
It's fun in Vermont where the different counties have slightly different school schedules. It's kind of strange, actually.
We all have the same spring break, like April break, though, which is so bizarre. February break is like different, and then April break, we all have the same one for the most part.
But yours is what it always used to be. I don't understand why the other ones have pushed it back a week. I don't know
either.
Because it always was President's Day.
Yeah, I don't complain about it being President's Day because like Monday's kind of it's only like 4 days really.
It's easier if it's actually in February, like not half and half. I think for me somehow.
I know. Don't get me started. I'm still cranky about why we have 2 breaks. Like when I was a kid, we had 1 spring break and it was in March, and that was it. We didn't have February and April.
Oh, we've always
it's a very Vermont thing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, all my whole life here. I've lived here for
No, I mean
for many years.
Grew up somewhere else.
And
all we had was a spring break in March. That was it. We did not have 2. We had 1 week off in the spring. That was it.
You might have had a longer Christmas break, though.
Maybe.
Or maybe you went home earlier in the spring.
I don't think so.
Because it's like the school 180 days or whatever.
I mean, we started school right after Labor Day, so that might be it. That we started school later.
Yeah.
Maybe. But, yeah.
We used to also, back in the old days. But,
I mean, I have heard that the February break in Vermont particularly dates back to the oil crisis in the 70s, and that it was added as a way to conserve.
I remember the oil crisis in the 70s.
I don't know. That's just what I'm saying.
And we always had break before that, as far as I can remember.
All right. So
I wasn't like a grown-up then, but I was alive then. Yeah, interesting. It used to be that break was sort of tied to town meeting day, which is always the first Tuesday in March. And so it is, I don't know why, it has changed over the years, but yeah. Because most of the schools were closed for that day, because that's where most of the meetings are held, or at the schools.
They're open. Well, ours, until a couple of years ago, used to be on the Tuesday, and school was in session, and sometimes the older kids would come in and sit in the meeting. Yeah. Now ours is moved to Saturday, which is not actually helpful at all if you have children.
Right. Well, and also, it's hard to tell whether you get more attendance or not. But
I don't think that there is, having gone to it in on both of the days, I think you get slightly different attendance, but you don't get better attendance by having it on a Saturday.
Could be.
So, because you're still challenged if...
And I don't have any reason. Well, except for when it used to be during the week, I would never even try to go because I just could never make that really work. But now that it's on Saturdays, I don't really go either. Sometimes I do, but I'm often gone that first weekend in March. So
anyway, local throwback, old school throwback,
little Vermonty made up history.
Local government still do voice votes on certain things at town meeting day. Not everything.
Do we want to plow? Do we not want to plow?
Do we want to pay our taxes once a year? Or do we want to pay our property taxes 4 times a year? That's the kind of stuff that gets voted on. Approving the budget for special things. The full budget gets Australian ballot, but
I might be back this year. We'll have to see. I think I am gone that weekend. But every now and then I go. But
I think it's interesting.
I like to go.
Out.
Yeah.
Sometimes things get real heated and real fun.
I'm always curious who's going to yell at each other about what.
Yep, that does.
I don't know my neighbors as well as people used to know each other, so I know their names from Front Porch Forum.
Right.
Yeah. So sometimes it's nice to put a face to a name.
I suspect we're going to have a lot of complaining about the condition of the dirt roads in my town this year, and that always seems to be a hot topic.
I have driven on a couple dirt roads over the last few days because when I went to Stowe yesterday, I went a certain way and then I came back
It's like mud season.
It is, but it's actually in a few spots really terrible because it's icy under the mud, and so I was like, let's go over here. Let's go over here.
I mean, and realistically, there's not a huge amount that the road crew could do.
No, there's nothing they can do about it.
Maybe throw some gravel down, but when we have these,
they could drop some salt in there, but even then, I don't think it would help.
No, it's a mess.
Yeah.
So let's go to town meeting and yell at them over the weather, which they don't control. So it'll be fun. Yeah. Fun times. Anyway, we should probably get going.
Sure, why not?
For the people who had nothing to chat about for the past 2 weeks, we certainly have.
We can always make something up.
We do.
You never quite know
stuff
where we're going to go.
Just blah 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 blah.
Right. We'll just leave it at that. It was 58 degrees yesterday here in Vermont, which is
yes, and
unusual.
It is currently
30.
My watch says 39.
That's what it said in my car. Yeah.
So a little bit colder today, but still not normal.
Cold. No, but I think the high today is like 40.
I heard in January we had below 0 days, which is very unusual.
You
did it with the wind chill.
We did because
you did it
at my house it was actually -1 on one of those days. But I went to bed that night. I was like, ooh, -1.
Maybe that statistic was for Burlington.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I think it just depends on where you were. Right. So it's
Okay.
There were two. No, just one. The gray is below 0. Yes, we'll talk about that. We will have spoken about it.
All right. Okay.